What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every day on Bitcoin. Didn't get a chance to make a video this morning. My computer was acting goofy. I had to get to work. I'm back now. I'm going to make a quick video, just kind of check out what's going on. Obviously, we are in a very critical area. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. There's a link to it. Check it out. And let's get into it. Alright guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Always do your own due diligence before investing or trading in any market. We are doing the Kobo Vault Generation 2 hard wallet giveaway. Not your keys, not your crypto, guys. If you don't have a wallet, I also have a couple links to Ledger, Kobo, and Elapale Titan down below. You can check them out. I definitely suggest getting your crypto off the exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. They also have a cool key keeper here that you can put into. I believe this one is made out of, I'm not sure what it's made out of. It might be aluminum. But anyways, check it out. It's an awesome wallet, and let's get into it. News headlines. Of course, we know what the sentiment is. Right now, it's pretty damn bullish. Winklevoss twin. Next Bitcoin bull run will be dramatically different. Recent Bitcoin rally pushes addresses and profit to 93%. Market wrap, Bitcoin sticks 11,000. Derivatives and DeFi keep growing. Bitcoin looks overbought, but analysis play down drop fears. So let's take a look at it. As you guys know, I have been expecting a big drop. Obviously, it's not looking like it's happening right now, but it is still there. There still is a possibility to be aware of. We are at 76 on a fear and greed index. That is in extreme greed. I do have this trend line that I drew off of this wick in January 18, June 19, and now July 20. We have got major rejection right off of that. I think a break and a close above this, even in a maybe 4-hour candle, is going to be extremely bullish. If we can't break above that, then we could be looking at those lower lows, guys. We'll take a look at both the bearish and the bullish case. You make up your own mind. Let's take a look at the bullish case here. So looking at this yellow lines here, we have a falling broadening wedge and a measured move off of that to where we break out. You measure from the top of the wedge to the bottom. Bring that up to where it broke out. That gets us a measured move of 16,000. And then let's take a look. I have the darker white trend line, which is off of these two wicks, and that would signal a breakout if that's correct. And a measured move of that would be around 27,150 range. We could also look at it and just use the trend line that's actually giving us resistance right now. Let's take that to, if we were to break out here, that one would get us right around the 26,000. So either way, if this is a breakout, we could be looking at $27,000 Bitcoin. Probably not going to happen this year if it was to be bullish and go, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. That's why I do daily updates every day. If you guys are interested in trading, I'll leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top if you're interested in getting into margin trading. If you use my promo code Savy50, that'll give you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus, up to 1 Bitcoin. Savy25 will get you 25% off of your trading fees. And that's another way to help support the channel. Just always be careful, guys. Don't use too much leverage, and never put in more than you're willing to lose. So anyways, if we were to come back down and test this white trend line here to confirm a breakout, we could go all the way down to the $9,400 to $9,500 area according to where this trend line is drawn. So let's zoom in a little bit. First, we're going to look at my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. That's another way to help support the channel. There's a link down below. There's a lot of good links down there, guys. If you got a second, hit the description, scroll down there and check them out. But she makes a lot of cool crypto stuff on here. She can do anything you want. If you don't like the stuff on here, if you want different coins on it or whatever, it is quality stuff. It's not the junk that you see all over the internet. But just hit her up in the contact, or if you have a crazy idea of a saying you want or whatever. Makes great gifts and helps support the channel. So let's look at the daily chart. Oh, I do want to look at the weekly real quick. Look at the RSI here. The RSI, if you look at this wedge forming in here, it looks like we do have a chance to come up and test this, and we'll take a look at where those targets will be in the smaller time frames. But a break of that trend line in the weekly, coming back and getting support on it, is going to be extremely bullish in my opinion. Let's get back to the daily. So this is what we've been watching. We had the measured move of the breakdown from this rising wedge all the way down to 6,900. And then we had it on this orange trend line here at 5,500 was the measured move of the break of that. These I don't consider valid anymore because we have broken back above them. We were talking about getting rejection on this trend line here, which if that's the case, if we move this out of the way and look at that as a broadening wedge, and that would be coming back up to retest it, that would get us that measured move down to 5,500. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying keep your eyes on it. Just like over here, as you can see, we'll zoom in. When we had this rising channel right here, we broke down out of it, came back up, tested it for resistance. It got rejected and came back down. Although this is higher, it still came back up and retested the trend line. We need a break and a daily close above 11,300 to break back above this trend line here. Always remember too, there is a CME gap all the way down at 3,500 area, right in that range. I'm not saying it has to fill. We have one at 96 right now, 76 and 30, around the 35. Let's look at the RSI here. So the RSI, we had this falling wedge, which we broke out of, obviously. We are pretty high on the RSI here, but a lot of people think that means oversold and get out. Let me show you something. First, let me zoom in here. Let me get a circle and look at each one of these points here where it was quote unquote oversold. And let's see what happened. We will come in here and I'll zoom in so you can see it. But this first time when we were quote unquote oversold, we were right in the 5,400 range. We did drop back down to about the $5,000 range. Came up to this next peak and we were oversold again, quote unquote. And we're at 8,370. And then again, oversold over here. And we never really had a huge correction after that, guys. And that was all the way up to the $13,000 range. And we had the same type deal right over here. Oversold, oversold, oversold. But if you look at the price action, had plenty more to go. So don't be fooled by that, guys. A lot of people talk about that stuff. That's not how the RSI works. Especially if you're in a major bull run, or if people are saying it's oversold and you're in a major bear market, it can keep going. So do not depend on it that way. So look at this daily. I have it drawn in a little different here. And if we take a look at, actually, let's come down a little bit. Looks like a falling channel here, slightly falling channel. We had a rising broadening wedge we broke down out of, came in a falling channel, broke out of that. Does look like we could have one more little push up here on the daily, which a little push up on the daily RSI can be a pretty big move on the price action. I do want to look at a couple things. I'm trying not to confuse you guys. As you can see, these pink trend lines here, we were looking at this way back here as a a rising broadening wedge. We had a measured move, and I think it was around 5,700, and everybody was saying that I was spreading fear, FUD and whatever, but we did end up dropping much lower than I even thought. We could be looking at that again, guys, if we cannot break this trend line here at around the 11,450. I'm going to say right in that area. And I'd like to see at least a 4-hour close above that to confirm. But then we could be coming just to test the top of this pink trend line around depending on where we would hit it, between 12,300 and 12,600, right in that range. And we'll go into smaller time frames and get a little bit more accurate targets. But if we do get a push down here and get back. Right now we are at 11,084. If 11,000 doesn't hold, I'd be looking for the $10,560 area. If we break down below that, then we'll need to start looking at this as possible correction. To put the Fibonacci retracements from the swing low to the swing high up here. The 0.236 is right around 96.24. And these targets moved, guys, because we were measuring from here. Now we're measuring from here. But a break of this top invalidates all these, and we have to relook at it. But if we're not able to get above that 11,450 range, and actually the longer we stay over here, the lower that gets. So let's say it was tomorrow, that peak would be right around the 11,400, and then the next day 11,375, so on and so forth. But the 0.382 fib is at around 8,500. 0.5 is around 76, and the golden pocket zone, this was our target of 69, but the golden pocket zone is around 67, 61. That's the 0.618. So between 6,500 and 6,700 is going to be the golden pocket zone. And then we have that target of 5,400, which actually lines up now with the 0.786. I can get that out of there. That was our old low. And then we have that CME futures gap. Just be aware of that, guys. Again, I'm not saying it has to go there. Just saying it's a hell of a possibility. Let's also take a look at this real quick. If we look at this, I know people were looking at this as a head and shoulders. I don't like this as a right shoulder. But just to take a measured move of that, just in case if that 10.5 does hold, that gives us a measured move of the 17,000 that could be coming all the way up to retest this top trend line. The pink trend line, like I said, around 12.4, 12.5, somewhere in that range. 12.3 to 12.5, depending on how long it took. To get back to the bottom of this channel here is going to be around the, depending on how long it takes, $12,900 to $13,000 range. Now we're going to go into the 1 hour, or I'm sorry, the 4 hour. This is where it gets a little interesting. I also we've been watching this rising channel here. We did wick through it, guys. And if this rising channel is correct, once you wick through something, it's pretty much weakened it. So there is a possibility that we continue up from here. And a measured move, if we're able to break back above that top of the rising channel and break up out of it, is around 13.2 to 13.3. Yeah, right in that range, between 1,300 and 13.3, somewhere in that range. And that could be a bunch of sideways action before we get there, guys, to come up and retest this orange trend line. Or could take a couple days and just get straight up and test the bottom of this rising channel. But if we are not able to climb back above this, and like I said, break that 94.50 range, 94.40 range, 10.5 doesn't hold, then we could be looking down. There is a CME gap around the 9,600, and that could be retesting the bottom of this channel. Do I think it'd take this long? Probably not. If we were to come straight down, about 93 to 9,400 would be the bottom of this, and a break below that, guys, then it would be making me extremely bearish again. Depending on where this broke, obviously. Could be looking anywhere from that 8,500 down to the CME gaps down here. But the measured move off that, depending on where it broke, let's say it broke out the next couple of days, the measured move would be about 73 to 74 if it took towards the end of August. And that could be what we're looking at. Could go down to that 0.5 fib around 76 to 7,700 range. But we'll keep an eye on this area, see what's going on. Look at the RSI on the 4 hour. It's not really telling us anything. I had this falling channel drawn that we popped out of, and now we are back within it. Let's see how this 4 hour closes. It closes as of the time of this video in about 2 hours. So that does look kind of head and shouldery there. Let's look at one more thing here real quick. Let's put a rising channel in there that we obviously broke out of right here. So yeah, we may get our bounce 1100 may hold here. If not, like I said, look for the 10,560. And if that breaks, then we could be looking at these lower lows. But let's first see if 1100 can hold, and then watch that 10,550. And let's go into the hourly chart. I'll look at the RSI real quick. Oh, that's what we were looking at. Going to the hourly. All right, so on the hourly, I was looking at this earlier, right before I made the video, before this broke out. Looking at this as a possible rising wedge here that we did break out of, and our EMAs are turning bearish. We did come back up and got rejected on the bottom. So a measured move, if that's correct, guys, would bring us down to right around that $10,500 range. Lines up pretty well. Although I would look for possible support here around the $10,850 to $10,900 range. Might get a little bounce. But ultimately, I think we have a good chance that we're coming down to test this 10.5. Depending on how long that takes, that might line up with the 200 EMA. You know, if it's within the next, if it takes us a day or so to get down here, 2 days, whatever, Bitcoin may start slowing down here a little bit. For it to get back up and break up out of the top of this, like I said, here's that trend line. You can see it. We're getting rejected right there. If we were to come back up and test it in the next, let's say tonight, it'd be around 11,400, and a break of that would most likely get us around the $12,000 range, guys. So keep an eye on it. This is a tricky area. Be extremely careful if you're trading it. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Don't forget to click CryptoSavy logo above my head. Don't forget to smash the likes, guys. Leave your comment down below for your chance to win the Kobo Vault Generation 2 hard wallet. And once again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by. I will see you in the morning. I will wake up early. So far, my computer's doing good, and I should be able to get you an early video in the morning. Take it easy, guys. I'm out.